Hello Penguinauts, I'm the Beardy Penguin and welcome to Sins of the Prophets. Now this is a Halo total conversion mod for Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. Beardy, why are you playing a Halo total conversion? Well, something that probably most of you won't know, I'm actually a massive fan of the Halo franchise. And the reason you probably don't know that is because I've never really made any videos. I was a fan of the Halo franchise, I should probably say, up until Halo 4 happened and 343 took over, and then I kind of thought, no, I don't like where this is going. If you like where Halo's gone, Halo 4, Halo 5, with what 343 has done to the franchise, then that's fine. That's cool, but I personally hated most of what they did to it, and as such, instead of buying an Xbox One, I invested in a gaming PC, and then the rest is history. But I'm still a massive fan of the franchise and the lore and everything surrounding it, so that's why I've decided to play Sins of the Prophets. Now, if you've never played Halo, I'm going to do my best to explain the universe and the lore and the place that we sort of find ourselves in. So if you've never played the Halo games, don't worry, I'll keep you, you don't really need to know anything for me to be playing this anyway. It's just an awesome space game, and I'll try and explain as much as I can as we go. So let's do some single player. So I'm just going to see whether you see I've done a few games already, but we'll create a new game. We'll do Tiny No Flood. We don't want to have the flood because well, yeah, the flood makes things pretty bad. Maybe we should go small No Flood instead of tiny. Gives us a chance to expand a little more, perhaps. Yeah, we'll go on small No Flood. Victory options. Capital victory. Your capital is unmovable. If it is destroyed, you lose the game. And allows you to share victory with allied factions. Yep, sounds good. Create lobby. Right, so in the Halo universe, you've essentially got these two well, you've got more factions than the original two, but without spoiling anything, you've got these two factions. You've got Earth, under the United Nations Space Command, humanity essentially, and that's who we're going to be playing as. There we go, we'll give ourselves a green logo and the UNSC logo like so, make sure we're UNSC. And they make first contact with an alien hegemony called the Covenant. It's an alliance of alien races that are very, very religious, and they worship this ancient race called the Forerunners. And due to a bunch of things I'm not going to get into too much, I might mention it and talk about the lore the more we play about it, but essentially they go to war and the Covenant is much, much more advanced than humanity, and as such it's very, very asymmetrical. In the books and expanded universe and stuff, of which I've read some of them, I've read The Fall of Reach, Flood, First Strike, Cold Protocol, a few of the books. I've played all the games including Halo 4, haven't played Halo 5 though, and I don't plan to. But essentially, the way space battles work is humanity is really outgunned, right? The Covenant have got energy shields and plasma torpedoes. Humanity, they do have FTL travel with things called slipspace drives, but the only real weapon they have that can damage the Covenant ships are these massive coil guns they have called magnetic accelerator cannons, big MAC cannons, and those are the only weapons they really have that can damage the Covenant, and that creates a really interesting dynamic, especially in Sins of the Prophets. I'll get more into it. Let's just get into the game. You see I'm playing on easy. Trust me, the Covenant on easy 1v1 are not easy. They're really, really difficult. We're going to set their type to... I'm actually going to set them to an aggressor, because that suits their lore. Because I don't want them being fortifiers, that'd be lame. Researcher, no. Economist, no. We'll set them to be aggressors. Because as the UNSC, you need to play with a very, very defensive strategy. Here we go, Fall of Meridian. While the thriving UNSC outer colony of Meridian had been attacked by Covenant forces previously, in 2548 the massive defensive lines at the colony had managed to repel the invaders after a drawn-out series of battles lasting for 3 years. Though the Covenant retreated from the world, they returned in force later in 2551, and they were successful in defeating the local defences. Meridian was glassed only 5 hours after the UNSC retreat. There you go. So, essentially, how the Halo universe works is the Covenant arrive, and most of the time they win the space battle, annihilate the human forces around the planet, and then they move in and they do a thing called glassing. So they use their plasma weapons on the planet and they literally turn the surface of the world into glass. They burn the whole world, making it uninhabitable. And they just do this, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and they're utterly brutal and efficient in their expansion and their just annihilation of humanity. in the games. And the only time humanity ever wins really a space battle is either using some crazy tactics or with overwhelming numbers. So you've got one of the more famous space battles in Halo is the Battle of Harvest, well, second Battle of Harvest, where you get Admiral Preston Cole. He only wins because he outnumbers the Covenant forces 3-1. And the way the human ships work, as you see, they all sort of look like rifles. And that's because they're essentially built around these massive MAC cannons. You see this Marathon class cruiser, this has got 2 of them in the front. And they do a crazy amount of alpha damage. We're going to give this Shiva missile tubes. There we go, Shiva nuclear missile tubes. They do a crazy amount of alpha damage, but they take ages to reload. So the way the space battle works is you, as the UNSC, need to have enough forces to completely wipe out the Covenant force in the first or second salvo. If you fail to do that, if you fire all of your railguns and you don't completely obliterate the Covenant force in 1 shot, or 2 shots, then the Covenant are going to lay waste to you, right? Because the Covenant have got energy shielding. Yeah, we don't have any of that. We're just boring old humans. So yeah, trust me. It's it's just a very interesting asymmetrical sort of thing. The only way you can win is by concentrating all of your forces and then obliterating the Covenant in one go. So you have to have sort of a critical number of ships. I've played games where I've had just enough ships to just about get the shields down on like a single Covenant ship, and then that one ship has just wiped out my entire fleet. Once I sent something like 50, 60 ships in a previous playthrough up against a single Covenant Titan, just about managed to get the shields down, and then it just obliterated my force. If I had like another 10 destroyers, I would have been able to then also destroy its hull with just a few more MAC rounds. But unfortunately, didn't quite have enough, and as such, I lost the whole fleet. And then the Covenant shields just regenerate, so then you gain nothing and you lose a whole fleet. So, yeah, it's most games are fought on a knife edge. Anyway, we're going to rename our capital to Earth. There we are. Right, and you have to play a very defensive strategy because you do actually have some advantages. You have these massive orbital weapons platforms with huge super MAC cannons, and these can take out most Covenant ships in a single shot, but they take ages to reload and they're very susceptible to fighters. There isn't actually a huge emphasis on fighter combat in Halo. It's mostly capital ship combat, and the Covenant has to have spatial supremacy in the game, so you don't really do much in space in the games, and there really should be some kind of space sim based in Halo. But either way, let's actually sort everything out, and I'll talk more about the lore as we're playing. Have a drink of water. Right, so let's sort everything out. So first of all, we've got our only prowlers, Office of Naval Intelligence, and we're going to set them to explore automatically. But we've got 3 different things, so we're probably going to want to build another one of those. We're also going to want to build a Phoenix-class colony ship to start colonizing worlds, and then we're also going to want some frigates. There we go. We just built 5 of those, and then that added to our Marathon class and our carrier here, the UNSC Aurora. I'm going to give it Shiva missile tubes as well, because we're going to get a colony ship, so it doesn't need to be able to colonize itself. And we'll give that bombers. The Marathon class has got the longsword interceptor to intercept enemy fighters. Next, let's sort out our research. So as the UNSC, as I said, we're playing a very defensive strategy. We're going to try and expand as fast as possible, and as soon as we encounter the Covenant, we're going to dig our heels in, build loads of defenses, and just build up and build up and build up until we've got enough forces to essentially just carve apart their home world. But to do that, we're going to need some much better ships. So we're going to start. Essentially, we want to get to this Halberd class destroyer. That's going to make up the bulk of our fleet. And then the second thing we really want to go for are these Artemis class battle cruisers, which have really powerful railguns. So we're just going to start with the Stalwart class. It's a good escort class frigate. Armament, it is usually a good idea to start with some reinforcement. We'll start on that. Industry, we just pause and unpause quickly just so we can see how much money we have left. Yeah. Usually you want to get New Horizons await, but we have to first, actually find some planets to colonize. So we're going to start with a common cause that reduces the cost of pretty much everything. And then after that we'll go for some commercial stations and we can start getting some trade up. And then diplomacy, we're just never going to touch this. You don't really... This is for if you have multiple UNSC factions, really. Trust me, there's no negotiating with the Covenant. They do not like humanity. Right. We can get ourselves basic provisioning. That doesn't cost much. Get ourselves some more supplies. We can build some more ships. Haven't got any artifacts left. And there we go. That's that. Next, let's have a look. We've explored our planet. We've got full civilian infrastructure. We've already building some stuff. Right, let's build ourselves a new military station over here. So we can research some more military technologies, and there we go. As you this guy's got the halo boop 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 noise, which is it's pretty nice. I do like that. Right, so there we go. We got this prowler. Set that to auto explore, and off you go. Okay, so we got ourselves started. There we go. The music's starting to get going now. So the music is actually by their own composer. This mod is amazing. I absolutely love it. I didn't actually buy Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion for Sins. I bought it for all the amazing total conversions. Of course, you know, including Sins of a Galactic Empire, which is the Star Wars one. You got Star Trek Armada 3, the Star Trek one. Oh, hello. We've got a first colonizable world. So we'll just wait for our frigates to arrive. We're going to get them all ready to do a slipspace jump. But yeah, there's just the total conversion mods and the modding scene on this game are just amazing. Just look at this. And all the UI and everything's all been changed. You've got these beautiful diagrams, blueprints down in the bottom left. I love it. 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 There we are. And we'll turn these guys into a fleet. Set them all so they jump together, and we'll give them a relatively close formation. We'll get a colony ship over there ready as well. And right, so there we go. We've got that prowler heading over there, and we've got this prowler heading over there. Alright, is our fleet relatively ready? Oh, hello, we've finished our first research order. Have we got the extra supply yet? Not quite, okay. How many ships do we have? We should have, what, 5 frigates? Yeah, and then we've got 2 capital ships. So, what kind of forces have we got here? Neutral forces. We've got a few heavy frigates. It looks like just heavy frigates. Yeah, and corvettes. Yeah, so we outgun them. And they're not all grouped together. That's the thing. As the UNSC, you have to group your units. Otherwise, you're really going to suffer. If you have them spread out, like once in my first game I had 3 separate fleets because I had 3 separate worlds the Covenants could invade through, and what you need to do is cluster them all into one fleet and have them ready to respond to anything. So just put all of your one big central fleet in a position where they can respond to any threat. That's what you really need to be doing. Because, as I said, it's all about that alpha damage. If you don't do enough alpha damage, you've lost. 3 separate fleets combined is much, much better than 3 different fleets trying to attack a Covenant ship. Because if you do a certain amount of damage to get its shields down, they're just going to regenerate. Okay, you have to obliterate them in that opening salvo. Oh, we discovered Sigma Octanus 4. Hello. Oh, look at that. That's got a lot of titanium. Sigma Octanus 4 is actually the site of a lot of interesting things in the Halo Expanded universe. We're going to have to rename some of these planets, though. Like this first planet, we're going to have to rename it Reach. Some of the planets that we discover do actually have Halo names, but most of them do not. But yeah, Sigma Octanus 4, that's pretty cool. I'll talk about that more in a minute, but in the meantime, before we have that combat, let's actually sort some stuff out. So we want to build some Stalwart classes. Actually, we want to just make up the bulk of our forces with these Paris-class frigates, because they're just really, really cheap. You can build them very fast. We will want to have some of these escort frigates, though. I've got insufficient credits, we'll sell some titanium. Oh, I sold deuterium. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Ah, that was stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. We have loads of titanium and I just sold a bunch of deuterium, which is really precious. That was very dumb of me. And now we have no deuterium, so we can't do anything. Okay, first mistake of the game. We can't make too many of those, otherwise the Covenant is going to annihilate us. But let's watch some combat then. Alright, so as you see, we're closing on some enemy ships. We're going to engage that Paris-class heavy frigate first, and let's fire some railguns. And just watch this. Watch it just get obliterated by railguns. Boom, gone. All about alpha damage, as you see. And since we've concentrated our fleet, and they very much have not, yeah, they're dead. We also have some missile tubes, archer missile tubes. Those are only against unshielded enemies. Of course, we are only fighting unshielded enemies right now, which is, you know, makes it fine. But here we go. Let's. Oh, we've already queued a bunch. Okay, that's fine. What are we doing? I was going to sort research out, wasn't I? Right, here we go. Shipyard. We need loads of deuterium. Maybe we should just buy some deuterium. Yep. Oh god, that made me shudder having to do that, but. Yeah, let's get the Sharon class. We want to sort of rush the Halberd class design. And also, oh, hello, we need more deuterium for that. Oh, we can afford to buy it. Okay, go for it. There we go. Get ourselves that commercial station. Start getting ourselves some trade going up. Here we go. So we are sort of outnumbered-ish here, but since they're sending their troops in, well, their ships in one at a time, we're relatively alright, but we'll send some reinforcements. Our capital ships are powerful enough, it doesn't really matter. And we can afford to lose these tiny Paris-class frigates. They're so cheap, we can just keep producing them. Come on, guys. See, I mean, these railguns, they take ages to reload. So, we may have actually bitten off more than we could chew here, expanding a little too fast. But I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, no, we're fine. Our reinforcements are en route as well. Here we go. So we're fine. We're going to keep building Paris classes. Like so. Just because they're so cheap. And keep reinforcing. And there we go. We've defeated them. Right, so now what we need to do is send our colony ship over here. Phoenix class. And we will colonize this world. Is there anything else left? Oh, there is one ship left. Okay, we'll take this out. It's a Gladius class heavy corvette. Awesome. Okay, so that'll cleanse that world. Let's sort out our research. You need to keep on top of everything when you're playing Sins. We need to build ourselves some more civilian research stations. So that's what we're going to do now. Like so. There we go.
Research order complete.
Wonderful. I love the voice acting. All the voice acting and everything. They've all done it themselves. The music, they got their own composer. Did most of the models themselves. They borrowed some of them from Homefront, which is the Halo mod for Homeworld. But yeah, this mod, I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, Phoenix, please colonize this. And see how many ships we're churning out? This is the UNSC's advantage. They can churn out loads of ships really quickly, really cheaply. The Covenant ships are much more expensive, but they are so much more powerful. There we go. This is all one big fleet.
Inbound UNSC reinforcement.
Oh, no, there we go. Make that all one big fleet. There we go. All groups, and now I want you to go over here. Well, the colony ship colonizes the world. And there we go. We've struck kind of gold, actually. We've got loads of just instantly colonizable worlds. You don't have to do much of the colonization research to actually colonize them, which is really, really nice. Right, here we go. Let's start investing in our industry. We're going to need a really, like this industry tree, we're going to do this really damn quickly. Because, yeah, trust me, we're going to need a lot of forces to take on the Covenant. You need to have a very, very strong economy. What was I doing? Oh, I was going to build a commercial station, wasn't I? There we go. Trade station. Get ourselves some credits rolling in. And let's get this fleet heading over. There we go. Ah, right. So since this is really close to Earth, we're going to rename this one Reach. Now, Reach obviously wasn't a barren planet in Halo lore. Reach, if you don't know, was essentially like the second Earth. It was really temperate, and it was pretty much on Earth's doorstep. And the fall of Reach was essentially the beginning of the end for humanity. If it hadn't been for a bunch of things happening in the Halo games, then, yeah, while discovering the Halos, then humanity would have been annihilated. Right, first thing you've got to do when you get a new planet, upgrade civilian infrastructure, just 110%. Right, let's sell the correct resource this time. Oh, we need more deuterium. Yeah, I don't want to buy it. The price is dropping now. Covenant's probably selling it. We'll buy some when it hits rock bottom. Okay, we'll buy some now. Right, and then explore the planet, because you can get some really powerful artifacts by exploring planets. Get you ready over there. Right, and then I want to essentially start building a second fleet up, because we need to really get going on this expansion. Yeah, and we're always going to have more titanium than credits, so I'm going to be selling quite a bit on the black market, which does mean we lose some money technically, but trust me, in the long run it's better. But we want to get these commercial stations constructed. Oh, I forgot to build the titanium mines. Hello, let's not forget how to do that. There you go. Titanium and deuterium mines. You want to build those the moment you found a new colony. We only lost like 10 seconds though, so I think we're alright. Right, and now we've got a pretty colossal fleet, so we can afford to have some fun. Here we go. We've also got Shiva missile tubes which are being used, so we've got nukes, which are pretty fun to use, as you see. But they only fire them automatically when there are 3 or more enemies around, so we're not going to be using them too much. But Look at that, just just disappearing from the sheer alpha damage we have from all our frigates. Look at that. Gone. Is it going to go? Yeah, it's gone. I'll zoom in so you guys can actually get a better view of some of the action. There we go. The thing is, space battles in Halo happen so quickly. They're not drawn out slugging fests, you know, like Star Wars or even Star Trek. They're just bam, over in a few minutes. In this game, usually a minute at most, usually just seconds. Right, let's keep building stuff. Have we got any... No, I haven't got any capital ship crew. Right, let's get some capital ship crew. There you go, basic officer training. We'll do that. Now, as soon as we finished our mines here, can we upgrade the logistics capacity of... okay, we need more deuterium. That's fine. See, there is a limit on how fast we can expand, but... there oh, hello. One of our ships leveled up. Ah! Which means we can... I think I'm going to grab... Should I grab colonize? Or invasion? Colonize will be useful. It just saves us having colony ships trailing us all the time, so we'll do that. And then I'll send the Orion to the planet to go colonize it. And we'll start collecting some worlds. Our scouts haven't encountered the Covenant yet. Oh, we've got a black hole, that's cool. But when they do, that's when we're going to have some problems. For sure. Now, I was going to talk about Sigma Octanus 4, wasn't I? And yeah, that is a world we definitely need to be going for next, that's for sure. Look at the amount of titanium asteroids that has. Yeah, Sigma Octanus 4 is actually one of the few times the UNSC actually had a... see, we're deploying our colonists. Actually had a victory over the Covenant. First of all, let's rename this... I don't want to do that. Ah! There we go. Since this is quite close... let's pause it. What should we name this world? It's a methane planet. Which is kind of... I don't know why it's instantly colonizable by us, since humans don't breathe methane. Grunts breathe methane, it's a race in the Halo universe, but humans certainly don't. Let's just name... I don't know that many worlds from Halo, but we'll just call it Arcadia. It looks nothing like Arcadia. Arcadia is, again, quite a lush world, but hey, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, we'll develop that immediately. Explore the planet, and build... Actually, we'll build the deuterium mines first, because deuterium is a lot more precious than titanium. Right. Have you finished building stuff yet? You have not. Okay, that's fine. So Sigma Octanus 4 is where the UNSC actually had one of their few victories. So you know what I said about alpha damage? What they did at Sigma Octanus 4 was they actually they took the first shot and then they moved their massive orbital repair stations in between the two fleets. So the Covenant fire was then essentially like big shields, and they absorbed all the Covenant fire that was shot back at them. And then once those had been destroyed, they then had enough time to reload and fire a second salvo of MAC cannons, and they managed to destroy the Covenant fleet. That was one of the very few occasions they actually managed to defeat them in space. There you go. Let's upgrade our logistics capacity here, and then we'll build ourselves another military station around Earth. And there we go. We got any more ships? We do have some ships. Yeah, we were building a new fleet, weren't we? We're going to need a couple of stalwarts. Yeah, we need more deuterium. And just a lot more of those. And then we'll build a new capital ship. We do need to research the Marathon class, but for that we need some deuterium, of which we do not really have any. There we go. Research that and we'll build another one of those for our second fleet, and they'll go expand this way. This colony ship, you can head over here and join the second fleet, because this fleet has their own colonization ability. And they're going to head to Sigma Octanus, which has got a slightly bigger force. It's got 3 carriers to supplement their basic stuff. Take another sip. By the way, the method of FTL travel in Halo is slip space, which, as you can see, is essentially opening a portal into what is sort of another dimension, in which distances are much shorter, and then just using their conventional engines to move through slip space, and then they exit slip space. And continue into normal space, but especially with human slip space drives, it's very hard to navigate slip space, so they're very crude. They can only be used for FTL, but they're very, very rarely used for in-system jumps. That's only been done a couple of times by humanity in the Halo lore. The Covenant, the alien race, have got much, much better slip space drives, so they can use them way more accurately, and they're much, much faster as well. Have we finished building everything on Arcadia yet? No, we've still got a mine queued up, but what I will do is queue up another commercial station, because these are really, really useful. We've got quite a few credits lying around as well, so let us see if we can research some more stuff. Here we go. We don't need New Horizons or wait. Oh, bracing for the storm, build rate increase. We need that. We'll grab that, at least the first level of it, and we'll grab high demand as well. We're researching the Marathon class right now. Armament, I don't tend to do a huge amount in this, especially early on. But rate of fire increase is always worth having. There we go, spent a bunch of money. Right, can we build ourselves a Marathon yet?
Research order complete.
No. We have insufficient credits and deuterium, so we just have to wait a minute.
Orbital structure complete.
There you go, so now they'll start building the commercial station.
Exploration teams have discovered
Oh, what's it about the deuterium mine? Hello, loads of new worlds. Still haven't encountered the Covenant. Well, this is still a small map, but it's not tiny. We'll wait until we can build ourselves a Marathon. There we go. And that will be the flagship for our second fleet. And then we'll go start expanding this direction. Take as many worlds as we can. Hello. You have some spare capacity. We will build... Actually, no, we'll build a... How much military research have we done? We just need deuterium right now, so just build a commercial station at the moment. We'll build some more research stations in a minute. Where's our fleet? Here we go, they're almost about to jump. And here we go. Slip space jump. Wait, how's cinematic mode? Oh, that's it. There we are. Check it. Slip space. The models are pretty awesome. They've come up with most of the models themselves. Obviously they've taken like the frigates and the Halcyon class and the Marathon class stuff. That's all from the game. So they still had to create the models. But they did actually come up with some designs themselves, which is pretty cool. Right, we'll untoggle that. Right, what enemies we've got here? Yeah, they'll be alright on their own, probably. How long till our Marathon gets built? Have we built it? Oh, we have. Here we go. UNSC Sitting Duck. Hopefully not. We'll give it some Shiva missile tubes. We can't give it the missile barrage until we actually do some more research. We'll give it some longsword interceptors to cover it from enemy fighters. And right, here we go. This is a decent-ish fleet, I think. Oh, I should probably add some more frigates to it, but we don't have enough supply. So, first of all, let's grab that, so we can expand that, and then we'll create a new fleet. Give them a tight formation, get them all to jump themselves, and there we go. Boom. Right, let's have a look at Sigma Octanus. Fire at will! Pew! Here we go. Oh, that's a nuke! Look at that! Boom. Well, that might have just been an Archer missile, I'm not sure. But I think that was actually a Shiva. Yeah, that was a Shiva nuke. Look at that. Shiva missile tubes. Yeah, we're devastating them. So, I mean, you need to have your ships in a tight formation so you can fire all those MAC cannons at once and just obliterate enemy ships, like so. Look at that. That's cool. Things we can't have look at the pretty space battles too much because we actually... Yeah, I'm so glad I can pause this game because I'm terrible with RTSs where I can't actually pause the game. Right, Halberd class destroyer. Boom. That's really what we need to go for. And then industry. Yeah, put another point into that. Another point into bracing for the storm. Build those things faster. Right, let's get ourselves another civilian research station. Civilian technologies, there we go. Yeah. Like so. And there we go.
Research order complete.
We've got high demand research complete. Okay, awesome. So our commercial stations are, when they're built, going to start producing us some credits. So we'll actually start having a decent income. How's this going? Oh, boom. Done. Sigma Octanus 4 is ours. Ferris planet. Awesome. So yeah, I don't need to rename this one. Sigma Octanus is actually an actual place in here, though. So it's pretty cool. So we've got Earth, we've got Reach, we've got Arcadia,
Sizable planet.
and Sigma Octanus.